What is up, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are covering the Malaysian Grand Prix, round number 16 here of Season 2 of F1 2016 Career Mode. You can see we have a pretty sizable lead at the moment, which did take a little bit of a hit in the last episode after Daniel Ricciardo's win in Singapore. We now head off to Malaysia, where we now have a fully upgraded Mana car. So the final upgrade, which was a fuel efficiency, an increase in 3% of fuel efficiency, and that's going to mean we can run even lighter in the race and run with more rich revs and still get away with that. So with that said, the Mana car is now fully upgraded. There's absolutely nothing we can do now to make this car quicker. So from here on in, for the rest of this championship, it's all down to us to try and win this championship.
Sit back and put your feet up as we head into qualifying here in Kuala Lumpur. Over the next few minutes, we'll find out who's got pace in the car and who hasn't.
Off we go then for the start of qualifying. Now for the first 5 or so minutes, I decided to just kind of sit out, wait for the track to get a little bit quicker. You can see the sun is setting off in the background, so the temperatures are only going to plummet as this overall qualifying session goes on. You can see this first lap was actually really slow. I missed just about every single apex over the course of the lap, and I was something like 2+ seconds off pole position, which is nowhere near good enough, especially at this pointy end of the season. Our banker time only got us 20th place, so I decided to go out again on the same set of option tyres or soft compound tyres to see if I could better my time. I knew I could, and it was just a case of going out and trying to extract that lap time, and we did manage to do that, going, I think it was 12th place initially when I set that lap, but it might have dropped me down to 13th, maybe even 14th overall, but we did make it through to qualifying 2, which was the very crucial part of this session. So we move on to qualifying 2 now. Because we've used that one set of soft tyres, I've only got one more set of soft tyres to use for this second part of qualifying. So whatever lap I do here, I'll be starting on if I make it through to qualifying 3. So I need to make it count. We go position 2 and 5/10 off of our teammate Pascal Wehrlein, who does improve again to be 8/10 in front of me. So the qualifying 2 results are pretty interesting. Now you can see about 6 or 7 runners there qualifying on the medium tyres for this race. That's definitely going to throw a huge strategy element into the mix. We've got the Ferraris, the Red Bulls, both the Mercedes cars doing the mediums as well. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how the strategy affects the overall order of the race. So that's qualifying 2. I was very happy to actually get a proper lap in and see what the genuine pace was, but to be 8/10 away from my teammate was a little bit concerning. I think we might have gone the wrong way in terms of setup, and also for that matter, I feel like I'm not the best when it comes to the Malaysian Grand Prix. So just a number of factors just attributing to my little dip in form for qualifying so far, but checkered flag is now out. I'm only using one set of tyres once again for this final session. Checkered flag has dropped and Ricciardo has pole position at the moment, but can we steal it away from him at the death of qualifying? I don't think we did. We only got 6th place, and very close to our teammate position wise, but still 4/10 away from Pascal there. Looks like the Mana really couldn't deliver when we wanted it to. So 5th and 6th on the grid, not too bad. We're going to need a good start and hopefully control the race if we can, because it looks like overall the Mana is slower than both the Ferraris and the Red Bulls. So we're going to have to get on top of these guys in terms of strategy or something like that. But without further ado now, it is time for the race.
A young Spaniard named Fernando Alonso sat at the front of the grid here over a decade ago now. The first flash of greatness in a race that also gave us the maiden win for Kimi Raikkonen. The Malaysian Grand Prix is an event for gifted racers to climb to the top, and for those on the sidelines to find new talents.
Your objective today is to get into the top 5.
Alright, so here we are on the grid of the Malaysian Grand Prix. As you can see on the race strategy there, we have a 2-stop going from the soft compound tyres to finish on the hard compound. Ideally, I'd like to run the medium tyres some way through that race, as I don't usually like using the harder of the 3 compounds, but we'll have to wait and see. Malaysia's, traditionally a very high tyre wear track, so we'll have to wait and see what that is. We may need to revert to that hard compound tyre. So Here we go, ready for the start of this race. Just 5 races left in this season, and away we go. Wehrlein, absolutely smashing start there. We're going to see if we can get in front of Kimi Räikkönen. If we can, he weaves to get in front of his teammate Sebastian Vettel, and now it's 3 wide with the 2 Red Bulls and Pascal Wehrlein heading into turn 1. Let's see if we can get up the inside of Kimi Räikkönen, which we managed to do. Daniel Ricciardo gets a very bad run through turn 1 as well, and Wehrlein going from 5th place to leading this Malaysian Grand Prix. We're going to see if we can follow him through on the run up to turn 4, and it looks like we're going to be able to do that as well. We might actually get our teammate too, and yes we do, into the lead of the Malaysian Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic start so far for both of the Manor cars. I actually can't believe that. And as we head on to the end of the first lap, you can see this is Max Verstappen, who's on the medium tyres. He's on the march and trying to get back in front of Pascal Wehrlein. And as you can see on lap 3 here, he's actually managed to do that. Wehrlein pulls into the pits as well, by the way. So it looks like he might be reverting to a 3-stop due to how early he's come into the pits. And Verstappen is now starting to find his feet on the medium tyres. He goes up the inside into the final corner, but I'm pulling into the pit lane anyway. And I'll just say this right now, this is literally one of the worst, probably if not the worst, entrance to a pit lane I've ever had. I mistook where the line was, and you can see I was sitting at 40 miles an hour there for like 3 seconds. And when you add that to the absolute calamity of me coming in, getting on the gravel trap, I lost so much time there, like 5 seconds. It was absolutely ridiculous. So heading into the pits now for our first pit stop. We are going to go onto the hard compound tyres and see how far we can run into the race on this tyre. You can see we got held up by a Ferrari, a Mercedes and a Red Bull as well. So we've lost so much time in this entirety of this pit stop phase. So Pascal Wehrlein, you'll see on the mini-map, he's going through like turn 3 now, the long right-hander. So we've lost like 8 seconds, maybe even 10 seconds, something like that in this whole pit stop phase. I tried to stretch out my option tyres for as long as I can because I'm thinking about a finish on the medium tyre. So we'll have to wait and see. We got the inside of Daniel Ricciardo there. Fairly easy pickings there as we managed to use the slipstream to our advantage. Got a very bad run off the exit of turn 5. And now here comes Daniel Ricciardo up the inside. Once again, he gets me back and moves into 16th place. A lot of the runners haven't made their stops, so the track position at the moment looks absolutely terrible. We go up the inside of Lewis Hamilton thanks to some DRS and a bit of cheeky slipstream there. We move up into P11. So that was a very costly mistake letting Daniel Ricciardo go through on me there. He's definitely going to be one to watch in this race. The Red Bulls are, one of the quickest cars around this track, so we'll have to wait and see what those guys can do. You can see the banana cars battling away for 8th and 7th place in this race. Pascal Wehrlein makes his 2nd stop on lap 11, so he's definitely doing the 3-stop. So that kind of rules him out of winning this race possibly, and it puts it back in the hands of Daniel Ricciardo. Meanwhile, we're going around the outside of Jolyon Palmer there. Actually couldn't make the move stick there. Just didn't have the grip to really do it there in dirty air, but now we've got some slipstream, some DRS, and we're going to see what we can do. Rich Rebs, he might have a go at his teammate Kevin Magnussen, but we might actually overtake him before he gets the chance, and we managed to do so into P7 as Sebastian Vettel sets the fastest lap, and a couple more cars are making their stops. So we're running a long way into this race on the hard compound tyres. Like I said, I'm going to have fresher tyres for the end of the race, and I'm going to have a softer setters. No! That was a terrible mistake there, getting up onto the gravel trap there, and it just slowed me up so much. Lewis Hamilton almost made us pay there, but we managed to hang on to our position for now. As meanwhile, I think this is Fernando Alonso, who has an engine failure. Surprise, surprise, it wouldn't be a F1 2016 career mode without an engine failure. Unfortunately for us though, no virtual safety car, no safety car either for that matter, and we're getting to the phase where everyone has kind of made their final stops apart from me. And we're going to do that now on lap 19, pitting onto a set of medium tyres. This is the phase of the race where I was really waiting for, going onto the mediums, whereas everyone else is going to be on the hard compound tyres. I was just, kind of waiting for that safety car that would have got me out of jail, because I've been kind of on the back foot ever since the end of that first stint, where I just tried to stay out really long on a set of soft compound tyres, whereas everyone else was on mediums, and I was really trying to battle the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. I didn't really focus on my teammate who got the undercut on me, and yeah, it's just kind of been a average Grand Prix in terms of decision making. And here you can see I think that was Sergio Perez getting tangled up with Pascal Wehrlein, who has kind of been nowhere in this Grand Prix. He's gonna struggle to finish in the points at this rate, but either way, Max Verstappen has won the Malaysian Grand Prix. We're gonna come home in a fairly average P6, to be honest. I don't really know what went wrong in this race.
Not good enough. Not good enough at all. Let's push harder next time, okay?
Yeah, the engineer pretty much sums it up perfectly there. It was a pretty average race on my part. I made some bad decisions. I stayed out way too long on that first stint, going on to the hard compound tyres, really trying to cover up the guys behind me on the mediums. And then I just made some really odd, uncharacteristic mistakes through that race, giving track position to a few other cars, and I didn't really have the pace to catch them up or even cover them off, so we kind of got exposed in this race. And like I said earlier on in the video, I tried out a different setup, and I don't think that worked all too much either. So when we head to the next race, I'm not too sure what that's going to be. Hopefully we're going to be much closer to the pace of at least getting on the podium and challenging the Red Bulls. You can see even with Wehrlein, like, we weren't that competitive today in the Manor racing car. So we'll have to regroup, have a think about what we're going to do strategy-wise for the next race, and really get on top of this, because we could throw away a championship here if we continue this kind of form. So Max Verstappen gets the win. He edges closer to the top of the standings there, edging out Sebastian Vettel to move into third place. Daniel Ricciardo is now only 17 points away now, so we don't have that race win buffer that we've enjoyed for the last few rounds. So we definitely need to get a move on. We don't have that comfort anymore. So heading into the next race, which will be the Japanese Grand Prix, a race where we got our first podium for Manor. So it's going to be a very interesting race for us. Hopefully we can be well on the pace and possibly win that Grand Prix. With only 5 races left to go after this one, a couple of wins would really go a long way to securing the championship for us. And in terms of the constructors there, you saw we lost it there to Red Bull Racing. So we'll endeavour to get that lead of the championship back in the drivers and the constructors as well. But that's been this video for today, the Malaysian Grand Prix. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And until the next race, guys, I'll see you next time.